And they are the England Lionesses. A comfortable win over the Orchids. That was yesterday. And today they were spanked by Australia, but they're in the same position as the Kiwi Ferns. 1 win, 1 loss. Nice and simple. Maddie Studden and Corey Parker. The winner goes through.
It's a simple equation, isn't it? Long way from England for these girls. Been some wonderful performers. Roche there on screen and Hardcastle for mine. Have really turned up. And the Kiwis, well, they'll want to get this done to get through to the final up against their arch rivals.
Both sides played in the steaming, but still quite steamy here at Bankwest Stadium, but the blazing sun earlier, the Lionesses wilted, albeit against the Gillaroos, the class of the competition, but slightly easier conditions now that the ground is covered in shadows. Some good players in this slot, Maddie Studden.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of key players in their Kiwis, and obviously they have to win this game to have good momentum and take on the Gillaroos.
All right, so a spot in the final up for grabs, and we begin. England has never beaten New Zealand or Australia in a major competition in the women's. A chance here to set the record straight and get themselves a final against Australia.
Back up here. Hold. Go 1.
So New Zealand, 1 game today, a comfortable win over Papua New Guinea. Here's Honey Hareme, the veteran, the star. Learning it inside now. And it's McGregor who goes to ground on halfway. Georgia Hale, hang off her there. She keeps her defender at bay. That's a tremendous run there as Anderson finally makes the tackle. Good start from New Zealand. And jumping out of dummy half is Rorder. Oh, they all fall for the dummy. Pins the ears back. Crystal Rorder in and away. That's a terrific try and a great start for the Kiwi Ferns.
Yeah, very experienced player, Crystal Rorder out of dummy half. But Georgia Hale, her presence through that middle third of the field, played a lot of halfback, is wearing the 13, and Crystal Rorder just split them open.
Yeah, she had great eyes there to just go herself and throw the dummy and get over the try line, so well done.
So perfect start for New Zealand. England yet to touch the ball. There's a gettable conversion, but just hooked away. So 4 points to 0. 90 seconds into this contest. New Zealand, the Women's Rugby League formed in 1995. They actually won the first 3 World Cups. And the last couple have been won by Australia. But an excellent record in Women's Rugby League, real pioneers. They play Australia in Wollongong next week in the 13-a-side as part of that double header. There's now England. Let's see what they can do with the ball. Amy Hardcastle doesn't mind the tough stuff. Amy, she can belt an attack and power up the middle with the ball. Now it comes across here for Georgia Roche. Gobbled up by McGregor. Also there was the try scorer Rorder. Now here's a little bit of footwork from Caitlin Beavers. But that gets England to their last tackle. They look to go to the left. Oh, that's a hard pass. And that was too tough. Oh, the winger there. And Tara Jane Stanley. So the momentum, the start certainly with the team in black.
Again, Georgia Hale just causing all sorts of havoc.
But offload there for Takarangi. Comes out to the open side. Here's Api Nichols.
Numbers left. Got to get the ball to Racine McGregor.
England struggling to get back here. Now they're back in a line, but they've done a lot of defending early. Oh, that's a wild pass. And that's a little break, and an even better break with Hareme putting it down.
Well, this time Honey Hareme coming on the inside. Should have just stayed on the outside. There was plenty of space.
13.
Very experienced player.
Here's the skipper, Emily Rudge.
10 straight away. Make the line and hold.
So England, they're hanging in there. They've haven't had much to celebrate in the first 4 minutes, but they're only down by the 1 score. With Beavers from the Leeds Rhinos. a fully qualified match official. In fact, has refereed a game at Wembley. And now here's the early kick. Hardcastle chasing. So is Tara Jane Stanley. She's got some toe and getting back there and losing at the Kiwi Ferns. And it's a result for England.
Yeah, it's a great option. The kick, the weight was right. Hardcastle just missed the jump there at the start. Clicked into gear after a minute. And they come up with a repeat set here off the back of an error. Fantastic opportunity here.
Maddie, it seems like such a good option, that kick behind the line in the nines format.
Yeah, definitely, obviously, because they play with no fullback. Here they are, the try line, well done.
And speaking of fullbacks, that's Hardcastle. So here we go. England tie things up.
Well, Tara Jane Stanley in the last 2 sets has been sensational. She's come up with a nice kick chase there before. They'll just watch the feet there. Right foot step, draw and pass to Hardcastle. And they strike back, the Lionesses. Big kick to come. That's great footwork on Jules Newman.
So Georgia Roach, she got the distance, but a little bit of hook, which is usually, whether it's men's or women's, the way these kicks misses, they usually hook away. And we're nicely poised. 4 points apiece. If it finishes in a draw, and boy, we're a long way from that, we'd go to golden try for 5 minutes. And if they can't be split, New Zealand would go through because they've got the superior for and against. But there's a lot of football to be played before we have to worry about that. And now the Kiwi Ferns will get to reload here. They decide not to put it into touch. So they remain inside their own territory. It's a powerful run.
Move now, 16. Play it. Go, 1.
Vlaatoa plays it just short of halfway. And Porco back inside 16. Here.
Hold here.
The inside balls have been so effective. Here's Maynard. Gets it onto Porco. Out to McGregor. McGregor puts the foot down and gets the pass right. Jules Newman. Hello, Newman. She's over 8 points to 4.
Fantastic work out of acting half. We see Anita Maynard just gets out. Finds Takarangi before they get to Jules Newman, who scores out in this right-hand edge.
Yeah, it was a great team try. Jumping out, and she did well then.
So just like that, the Kiwi Ferns reassert their authority on this game. And the conversion misses, so it remains 8 points to 4. Jules Newman in the second try of this tournament. Part of the Warriors, like so many of these Kiwi Ferns players, a rugby union background. In fact, she only made the switch this year and doing some very nice things. So, big tackle on Hardcastle. And that is New Zealand ball.
Up now, 16.
Big set of 6 here for the Lionesses.
Huge set here.
7-0.
Comes back in field for Porco. Duel to hang on here, the Lionesses.
Need to get the ball left.
Go, 1.
And it's coming back to the short side. Hale through the hands. Haremi back now to Nichols. Keeps it alive. The basketball pass. Hale. Oh, this is beautiful. That's a lovely try. That's the try of the night in this game so far. And 5 points as well.
The advantage of having Georgia Hale in that middle third and the fact that she can play with the ball, as we see here. Nice ball to McGregor. Through Nichols out to Honey Haremi. And they just come back. Terrific ball here from Racine. And a wonderful try, wonderful team try on that left-hand side.
And a minute to go now in this first half. The goal is successful. So all of a sudden, the margin is blown out to 11 points.
Stay behind it. Wait. Stay behind.
Don't forget, winner of this will meet Australia. It's that simple. And England will do well to get out of this jam that they've put themselves in.
Away now, 10. Hold here.
And it's Hardcastle now to play it. Stanley, seemingly the most dangerous of the English players. Gee, she's got some bruises on the left leg there. Oh no, and the knock on here. And now the Kiwi Ferns have a couple of plays to really blow this margin out. And here goes the hooker in Rota. She's already scored one. Ball came free, ripped out.
There's your mark on the line.
I'll get one more play.
Wait. Okay.
So Rota. The siren sounds. Oh, look at the numbers out here. Maynard. Out it comes Hareme. They won't stop her. Honey Hareme. She's too good from that spot. And New Zealand, a huge couple of minutes just before half-time to all but book their spot in the final. England are wilting, and New Zealand now up by 15.
There's too much class head on that left-hand edge. The pass was beating defenders, and in the end, Honey was able to score what was a pretty easy try by her standards this afternoon.
So England will have to come up with something quite miraculous. It's the Kiwi Ferns leading the Lionesses 19 points to 4. A lot to like about the Kiwi Ferns the last 3 or 4 minutes of that first period.
Yeah, they were clinical, weren't they? I really like Georgia Hale through that middle, and Nita Maynard just really putting their presence on the game. They're in full control here, the Kiwi Ferns.
Oh no, a disastrous start for England. They need everything to go right in these last 9 minutes.
Wait. Okay.
And now New Zealand, a chance to score yet again. They've already crossed 4 times this afternoon. McGregor waits at dummy half. Comes to Georgia Hale. Now on to Nita Maynard. Keeping it alive, and here's a strong burst and almost getting there. Tamarua.
Up now, give room.
Will do well to hang on here, England.
Go, 2.
Hale. Now Hareme. Already scored tonight.
Up together, 14. Marcus square.
Chantel Crow there.
Hold.
Last appeal off in the tackle.
Go, 3.
Now comes out to the left. Here's Hale. On it comes McGregor, and a beautiful pass. Leotar out on the wing.
Yep.
In fact, it's Crystal Rorter, my apologies. And she gets her second, so New Zealand well and truly on their way now.
And it's all down this left-hand edge again. Georgia Hale on the Racine McGregor. Replay the tape. This time it's Rorter out on the left edge. Normally a acting half. Finds herself scoring a try.
Yeah, you don't normally see Crystal Rorter on the wing, do you? So it's a good try for her.
Can you see, Maddie, the Kiwi Ferns giving Australia a serious challenge? It was a comfortable enough win yesterday. Obviously, this is Nines football. Anything can happen.
Yeah, look, it's going to be a close game, but it comes down to the possession of the ball. So you really want to keep the hands on the ball, and if you don't complete your sets and get over the try line, it's going to be hard against the Jillaroos.
I think if the Kiwi Ferns are any show of beating the Jillaroos, from what I've seen, they need to play some football, particularly, as I mentioned, with Georgia Hale. Her presence through that middle third, just being her ability to offload and play a bit of pre-line footy will really trouble the Australians.
So England scored early, but it's been a tough stint since. And there's Crow driven back, doing well to hang on to it there. Some heavy work from Hale. Flung in field, Cunningham to Roach. And going here to Stanley. Rushing up was Newman in her face. Stanley now plays it. Here's the kick out of dummy half on the last. Yeah, they just didn't throw much at the Kiwi Ferns, did they? New Zealand right on top. Here's Hareme swatting players away with a big smile on her face. There's New Zealand now work down the right. There's Kiana Takarangi, brother of Brad.
Interesting to see with these two female sides that they opt to run a fullback early in the tackle count.
How does Coach Parker feel about that?
Well, if you got one back there and there's only 9 on the field, there's an overlap somewhere, Dan.
And here's a result for England with the ball coming loose. So the Lionesses will get the ball back. Rudge has to race into dummy half. And now with a bit of open space is Cunningham, the St Helens captain, who does a bit of commentary for Sky Sports in the UK. Now here's Stanley. That's a line ball pass. It's a line ball tackle. And the referee says the tackle was high. Obviously the pass was okay.
She's been in the thick of it, hasn't she, Hardcastle, in this tournament. Takarangi this time gets her a little bit high. It was big contact yesterday. with Elsie Albert.
Held! Release now, go one.
And let's see what England can produce here. Jodie Cunningham. Pass on here to Naomi Williams. Another St Helens product.
Go two.
Jumping out here is Peach. Here's the kick. It sits up nicely for Takadangi as we enter the last 5 minutes of this. And New Zealand, surely they're home now. And they've had some great matchups, Australia and New Zealand, as now we watch the Kiwi Ferns go through their hands. Comes out to McGregor, keeps it going. And an audacious run back inside for Rorder.
Release now.
So 40 metres out here. McGregor, oh, she turns her defender inside out and does it again. Then the no-look pass. There's now Arpie Nichols in the number 1 jersey.
Roll out.
Short side.
Go three.
McGregor's listening to a player. Now to Hareme again. You can't stop her that close. Too good. And Honey Hareme, she's just warmed into this tournament so nicely. Gets her second for the night.
Yeah, second for the night. But just have a look at the work here from Racine McGregor as she goes into acting half. Just scans her eyes up, has a look at the numbers down that short side, realises they got numbers and go there, and it's just catch and pass. Very crafty little player, Racine McGregor. And the experience of Honey out on this left edge. Grabs another.
Honey, a try-scoring machine. Well, there you go. She's on top with Tiana Penatani. That title might be decided in the final. Corbin McGregor nipping at their heels as well.
Okay, time it.
And Honey scored a mountain of tries at the last 13-a-side World Cup. Scored 6 in one game against Cook Islands. And here's a penalty now to England. But too little too late for the Lionesses. And a good statement being made here by New Zealand as they book their ticket to the final. So England had a good night last night against the Orchids, and to withstand a fair bit of pressure early. Got the job done then, but it's been a rough Saturday for them. He's Cunningham at the line. That pass. And it goes loose as Williams puts it down. And you can see they're just wilting, and Liatoa running over a defender. Hale, Nichols, this is lovely as they keep it going. Porcor, out it comes now for Newman.
Great cover defence.
Caitlin Beavers, not the first time she's done that this tournament. Porcor keeps it going to Hale. Onto Rorter. Did well to hang on to it. Now Takadangi, 1-on-2. Oh, she got the pass on her knees.
Beautiful ball by Kiana then. That was a great try. Good defence by England as well, covering on the right side there. So you can see some positive in England's defence.
So Nita Maynard scoring the try from the Roosters. Receiving the pass from her Roosters teammate in Kiana Takadangi.
Well, it shapes up for the final, doesn't it? The Kiwi Ferns up against the Gillaroos. Plenty of history between those two sides on all forms.
Yeah, they've played some series in the Nines as well, a relatively new concept, but when we were at the Auckland Nines for those years, these two nations in the women's played in 3 of the years, and New Zealand won in 2 seasons, as we see Latrell Mitchell and Cam Munster watching on. Good to see them here at the footy.
Tedesco. They've obviously just come back into camp before they go and represent Australia in the main game next week.
We'll see those games on Fox League as well. As England now with one last chance before they get on the plane. Here's Roach. Along the line it goes as it comes from Jodie Cunningham, Tara Jane Stanley, and then the ball goes out. Hardcastle can't reel it in.
Here we are, England. Yep. Go, 0.
Well, they've tried hard, the Lionesses, in this tournament.
Unfamiliar conditions, you'd have to say. I don't think they'd be used to 26 degrees and humid. which is what we've had to encounter the last couple of days.
It's great to see another nation bring out a women's team.
It sure is. Honey Hareme now on the last play. Left foot step again. Left foot step again. Here we go. Now the pass on here to Maynard. She's already got one and she's dragged down. And that is a comprehensive victory for the New Zealand Kiwi Ferns. We will see them again in just over an hour when they take on the Jillaroos. Full time in the last preliminary women's game. New Zealand 33, England 4.